all, how are you doing? It's me, Fabi from Fabi English, one more time, helping you improve your English and get the score you need on the IELTS exam. Okay, so I hope you all had a good weekend. Okay, and actually I had a good weekend. I went to the beach yesterday. I went to Nusa for the first time in a long time. Yes, I hadn't been to the beach in a while. So I was at Nusa. It was really fun, and it was hot. I don't know where you are, but here in Brisbane, oh my god, Queensland is really hot, but it was fun. Yeah, I went to a dog beach. Yeah, I didn't bring my dog Juju with me, but it was fun. There were heaps of dogs there just running around. Yes, it was a lot of fun, and I hope you also had a very good weekend. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Fabi from Fabi English. Okay, I'm here to help you achieve the score you need on the IELTS exam and also help you with your English on the way, because I don't think that you can get the score you need if you don't practice English at the same time. Okay, and also I've been teaching English for a long time. I'm based in Brisbane, Australia. Okay, and my specialty is the IELTS exam. All right, so if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. Okay, and if I don't get to your question straight away, I'll get to it at the end. Okay, cool. So I don't know if you followed me last week and you saw what was going on. So last week was quite interesting because we were talking about New Year's resolutions in English. Okay, so if you missed the virtual class on Thursday, it will be up online soon on YouTube. Okay, some of the lives are up online, but not all of them. But keep checking, okay, the YouTube channel, and keep checking Instagram and Facebook. All right, cool. So this week I decided to talk to you guys about something that I think is very important, but people keep forgetting about. Does anyone know what that is? Something that you forget? If there's something that people tell you you always forget concerning your IELTS journey, please write it down. Maybe you're right. Okay, so one thing that people always forget is feedback. Okay, so I think that getting feedback during your IELTS journey and also your English journey, so that's both things, okay? If you don't get feedback along the way, it will take you much longer to achieve your goals, okay? So as I said before, I've been teaching English for a long time, helping people with the IELTS for about 7 or 8 years now, okay? So I've seen lots of different people from lots of different backgrounds, and I get a lot of people, okay, who come to me and they say, I've been studying by myself and I don't get the score I need. I think I need a teacher. I think I need someone to help me. Yes, you do, okay? A lot of people, they do very well studying by themselves and they achieve the score they need, but that's not everybody. When I had to do my IELTS exam, I asked for help. Okay, I decided to do it on a Monday, then I did it on the Saturday, and then I actually got someone to check my writing for me just to make sure I was on the right track, you know? So getting someone to look at your work is extremely important, okay? And that can be the difference between you getting the score you need and not getting the score you need, all right? So one of the main differences between getting feedback and not getting feedback is also the speed in which you get to your score, okay? I have last week one person contacted me for English classes, okay, to study for the IELTS, and this person actually said, look, I spent 1 week studying by myself. I think this person also took some time off work, and I spent a week studying by myself and I got the exact same score I got 6 months ago. And then she said, I think I need help. I said, yes, I think you do. Okay, so today I'm just gonna tell you some of the things that you will see or you have if you do decide to go and get the help from someone, okay, some support, all right? Cool. So one of the things, okay, is just your speed, okay? So you will get there sooner if you have someone to help you, okay? Mostly because when we are doing things by ourselves, okay, we tend to do things in the exact same way. All right, so we do need someone to look at our work and tell us what we're doing wrong, okay? I personally do this all the time, okay? So I always, if you're on my email list, I write emails to you guys maybe once or twice a month. And if I tell you that I always get someone else to read it, would you believe me? I do. Because, you know, like, we all make mistakes, right? And for some reason, I always make the mistake of writing you instead of your, or vice versa. And Microsoft Word, the corrector doesn't correct that, which is very funny, right? It doesn't correct it. So now I know that. And the person who reads it for me, the person said, look, you keep making this mistake. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. So what do I do now? I double check. Okay, so yeah, so that's one of the reasons why it's good to talk to someone, because sometimes we don't see it. Okay, and like my students, they don't do, I think I told you that before, they don't do 2 or 3 writings per week, they do 1. Because again, I feel that if you do 2 or 3, you have the same mistakes, you didn't get any feedback. Okay, so I'm really, really into feedback, and I know it totally works. Okay, so that's the main thing when it comes to feedback. Okay, guys, so basically is getting someone else to look at what you do, okay, or what you're doing, and this person will tell you whether you're doing it wrong or right. Okay, some things you're missing. Okay, so yeah, so that's one of the main things there when it comes to feedback. Okay, yeah, another thing is it goes back to what I kind of said before, quality versus quantity. Okay, so you don't need 10 pieces of writing, you need 1 good one to get the score you need. Okay, so I think that if you do 1 and do it well, that's when you achieve your score. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people saying that they wrote hundreds and hundreds of writing until they got their 8 or their 7. Okay, but maybe you don't have to write 100 if you have someone telling you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Okay, so that's another thing. That's why getting help from someone is very, very important. Okay, so, and something else, I've helped some people who they did online courses for the IELTS. Okay, and one of the problems was that they did the course, okay, and they didn't really get proper feedback, but because they did the course, they thought they would get the score they needed, because that's what they were told. You do this course and you get the score you need, right? But then they failed and they didn't get the score they needed. And then they come to me and they said, look, I did this course online, but I didn't get the score I need. What am I doing wrong? And I said, oh, how many times did someone tell you what you're doing right or wrong? And they said, no one did it. No one told me. Okay, so yeah, so a lot of people, they just do these online courses, and then some people are able to achieve the score they need just with an online course, but some people, they need the online course plus some help. Okay, and then it's funny because I've been helping people who did online courses, and then they come to me and then they got 5 on the writing, let's say 5 overall, and then we do a few classes and they improve a point straight away just because I told them what they're doing wrong, okay, and what they're doing right. Because sometimes what happens too, if you're not getting feedback, you change what you're doing, right? And when you change what you're doing, okay, you might stop doing the things that are correct and then just keep doing what is wrong. All right, so that's why, in my opinion, feedback is so important. Okay, and one more thing is when I talk about feedback, so by feedback I mean getting someone to check what you're doing and tell you how you're doing. Okay, that's what I mean by feedback. And most people who are studying for the IELTS or studying English in general, when they think of feedback, they think of speaking and writing. That's it. Okay, which is totally 100%. Hello, teacher. Hello, hello, Arthur. Arthur, from Paraguay, I think. I remember you. How are you? Sorry guys, when people send messages, I can't stop myself from saying hello. Cool, yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about the feedback, right? Yeah. So the feedback, right? So when we talk about writing and speaking, that's when we really need feedback. But some people forget that we also need feedback when it comes to listening and reading, especially on the IELTS exam. Okay, so that is why if I'm going to start helping anyone with the IELTS exam, okay, the first thing they do a full test. Okay, so they get a full test, and then the first lesson is actually us checking it together. So I check everything with them. I check the whole listening, the whole reading, and then the speaking and the writing. And while we're checking, I'm giving them feedback. I ask them, how did you go? What did you do? You know, what was difficult, what was easy, and then they tell me how they felt, and I can tell them what they had to do to improve. I say, oh, this one was so difficult and I didn't do well. Say, oh, why do you think that? And then we talk about it, okay? So just remember in your IELTS journey, even doing your English, if you're just learning English, okay? It's very important to get feedback, okay? For listening and reading also. The good thing is that you can improve your your listening and reading skills quite quickly compared to speaking and writing, just because listening and reading, they're receptive skills, right? But you also need feedback. You also have to know what you're doing right and wrong, okay? But when it comes to speaking and writing, it's even more important, okay? And remember, getting someone's help, okay? And getting some feedback and knowing what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. This can be the difference between your final score, difference between a good score and a bad score, or the score you need and the score you get, okay? And also feedback, also with the feedback, you get there quicker, all right? So yeah, so these are the main things I think, guys, okay? So today I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what you can achieve with the feedback, okay? So tomorrow, Brisbane time, 7 p.m. I will be talking about my notes here, yeah. So tomorrow I will be talking about different kinds of feedback, because there are lots of different ones, and then it's important to know which one is the best for you and the one that will help you the most. Okay, and then on Wednesday, same time, 11 a.m., I will tell you how to use the feedback. Okay, because what happens too is a lot of people, they get feedback and they don't use it. When I was teaching at a school here in Brisbane, I used to get very, very angry when, the students would do the writing, okay? The writing, they had weekly writings, and then I would check the writings, and then I'd give it to them. They would look at it, put straight in the bin, or straight into their bag. They would squish it like this and put it in their bags. And I was like, oh my God, I spent like 10 to 15 minutes checking that, and the person doesn't even read it, okay? So that's why with my students, I take the time to check the feedback with them, okay? And I'll tell you how to do it. If you don't have anyone to help you, so if you just have someone who checks it for you and gives it to you and doesn't have time to talk to you, okay, I will tell you what to do with that feedback once you get it, okay? That'll be on Wednesday, okay? So I said that, but I'm saying it again. On that Tuesday at 7 p.m., we'll be talking about the kinds of feedback. And on Wednesday morning, 11 a.m., we'll be talking about how to use the feedback. All right, cool. Do you have any questions today? No. No questions? No? All right, cool. So I'm gonna head out. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message later, okay? But if you want to watch this one again or watch the previous ones, head to YouTube, Fabi English on YouTube, Fabi English on Instagram, and Fabi English on Facebook. All right, so I'm gonna go now, but I'll see you next time. Bye.